cruise life. So I've had a little jolly up to Scotland, a little breakaway. I went with my sister. We're actually originally from Scotland, although you'd never guess it from my accent. So I was born in Oban in Argyll, and we decided to have a little jolly up there. We hired a camper van and we had a wonderful 3 nights up there. And I will put some of the footage that we took at the end of this video, just so that you can enjoy the beautiful scenery. But what I intend to do now is just get outside and have a little catch up with you guys on the farm and the polytunnel and show you where I'm up to with everything. So here you can see some of the squash and pumpkin, just moving away some of the foliage there. So as you can see my hand there, they're not huge. I certainly haven't got some stonking big pumpkins that I can use for Halloween, but this has been my first year growing them, and I'm pleased. You know, if we get some, at the end of the day I do grow for food, although, you know, sometimes it's nice to have some fun with your food as well. But I'll be pleased. There's another one, whoops, just come around the hose pipe over here. So there's a few coming, and I don't know if you can see, there's one, I don't think the camera's going to show that one. So some of them are quite small, some of them are a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to carry on with them, see how they go, and hopefully, you know, we can harvest and enjoy eating those. So the rest of the polytunnel is doing really well. So in this bed here, if you remember, we've got the parsnip, the leek, carrots and turnip. And I tend to leave things in the ground, particularly at this time of the year, and we just pull what we want when we need it to eat. And I find, you know, it keeps better just in the ground. And in the polytunnel, that's a real advantage because obviously it's just that little bit warmer in here. So that bed's doing grand. And then if I bring you round here, good old chard, Swiss chard, still coming every time. I know I say it every time, but it's just so beautiful to look at, and delicious. And then here we've got 2 more little rows of turnip, the golden ball and the snowball. They do need thinning out, so I will crack on and get that done. And here we have my good old perpetual spinach, which again, it's just delightful. It's always attractive to look at, tastes delicious, and it just keeps on coming. And then if I just come around here, these are the geranium hanging baskets which I'd had outside on the woodshed, and obviously I want to get those in now because we have had a couple of frosts actually. In fact, poor Chris got a frantic text while I was up in Scotland saying I had forgotten to bring the geraniums in. So bless him, he's brought those in and just popped them there for now. I'll probably move them. What I find is if I hang them up on the crop bars up here, they just move around a little bit, and I just find that gentle movement and the warmth is just enough to stop them being affected by the frost and the cold. And then you can see we've still got just a few tomatoes coming. I just need to get those picked really, and I need to get all these tomato and cucumber plants in, you know, pulled down and composted up, and then that's those pots ready. I cannot even recall what's in this pot. Let's have a wee look. Swiss chard, so there's more chard germinating there. Over here we've got the celeriac, which I've never grown before, but it's looking reasonable. I think I'll probably have to move them because they're going to get too big for that pot, but that's where I started them. The basil over there is looking a bit wilty, but it doesn't do well in cold weather, and obviously we have had a couple of cold snaps. And then there's a few tomatoes just left on that plant there. And here we are at the outside bed in which I've planted the onion and garlic, and you can see there, hopefully, if I just move the camera and hold it steady, the garlic is looking really healthy. Now the garlic is looking much better this time this year than it was this time last year, and I had a really poor harvest of garlic from the last crop that I grew, but it was just bog standard supermarket garlic, whereas I have specifically bought, I can't remember off the top of my head, Casablanca. This is Casablanca. And the onions there, I've got the red and the white onion. There's a few weeds popping up, I need to get on top of those, and they're pretty much at the stage I would expect them to be now. There's a few leek left at the top there. I'm saying a few, I think there's only 2. I think Chris might have snaffled one while I was away, and there's a few more leek down at this end. I'm still getting just a tiny pop of colour there from those flowers that I had over the summer months. now, or certainly very grown up. It's been a bit wet, I need to put for them, but you can just see these are what were our tiny little chicks that I showed you way back. We've now sorted through them, and these are the girls, and the lovely mum hens and all the little boys have gone back to my friend, and we have just now got the girls. So we've got a really nice selection, some really pretty ones, some really cheeky ones, but I'm really pleased with them. It's been a really fantastic journey watching them grow up from tiny little fluffy chicks into these beautiful hens. There is one over there who I suspect is just coming towards us now with the speckles. He may actually be a boy, so we'll keep an eye on him.